All right, so you're in the UK and you're thinking about jumping into crypto. But let's be honest, it can feel like you're trying to navigate a total minefield, right? Well, that's what we're here for. In this guide, we're going to give you a clear and most importantly, safe path through the world of crypto exchanges. So let's get right into it. So here's the $1,000,000 question, or maybe the one Satoshi question. How do you actually buy crypto safely here in the UK? It's a huge first step, because it's not just about picking the next big thing, it's about where you're buying it from. That's the part that really matters for keeping your investment safe. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the UK's key rulebook. You gotta know the rules of the road. Then we'll look at the FCA registered exchanges, the good guys. We'll also touch on exchanges with restrictions here in the UK. After that, I'll give you a super handy pre-investment checklist. And to wrap it all up, we'll get real about the core risks. Sound good? Let's go. All right, first up, the rulebook. We're talking about the role of the FCA. Look, before you even think about signing up for an exchange, you have to understand who's in charge of the rules in the UK crypto space. It's absolutely crucial. And that main regulator, it's the Financial Conduct Authority. You'll see it called the FCA. Basically, they're the UK's financial watchdog. When it comes to crypto companies, their big job is to make sure these firms have super strict rules in place to prevent things like money laundering and terrorist financing. So when you're looking for an exchange, think of the FCA as your compass, your North Star. If a firm is registered with them, it's a huge green flag for safety and compliance here in the UK. Okay, so now that we know about the FCA, let's talk about the exchanges that have actually done the work and gotten registered. These are really your safest options. Think of these as the platforms that have the official green light to operate for folks here in the UK. And here's a look at some of the heavy hitters. You've probably heard of a lot of these: Coinbase, Kraken, Crypto.com, Gemini. The list goes on. You've also got places like eToro and Revolut in the mix. The key thing to remember is that every single one on this list has passed the FCA's registration process. This is a great place to start your own research. But here's the thing, just because they're all registered doesn't mean they're all the same. Not at all. Take Coinbase, for example. It's super popular with beginners, and for good reason. Its interface is really user-friendly and their security is top-notch. But then you have something like Kraken. It's kind of geared more towards the experienced crowd, with more advanced trading tools and usually lower fees. And the differences don't stop there. Some of these platforms are becoming these massive integrated financial ecosystems. It's pretty wild. You've got Crypto.com offering a ton of different assets, a great mobile app, and even its own Visa debit card. And then there's eToro, which is a whole other beast. It's a multi-asset platform where you can trade crypto right alongside stocks, and they have that famous copy trader feature where you can, well, copy other traders. Okay, let's get into our third section, because this is where a lot of people get confused. You hear about these giant global exchanges, these household names in crypto, but then you notice they're not on the registered list. So what's the deal? Why do some of the biggest players have limited access here? This table lays it all out pretty clearly. Let's take Binance. It's the biggest exchange on the planet, but it's not FCA registered. In fact, they had to stop taking new UK customers back in October 2023. You've got others like OKX and KuCoin that are also in a tricky spot, operating without meeting the UK's rules on promotions. So the big takeaway here is super important. A massive global reputation does not equal compliance in the UK. You gotta check. All right, time for section 4. Let's get practical. I want to give you a toolkit, a simple checklist that you can use to check out any exchange for yourself. These are the 4 key things you need to verify before you even think about putting any money in. Number 1, and this is the big one, is it FCA registered? Seriously, this is non-negotiable for UK users. Number 2, how's their security? You want to see things like two-factor authentication, 2FA, and you want to know that they keep the majority of crypto assets in cold storage, meaning offline and away from hackers. Number 3, a practical one, do they support GBP? Can you easily get your pounds in and out using a UK bank transfer? Super important. And finally, number 4, do they block derivatives trading? The FCA has banned products like crypto futures for regular folks like us, so a compliant exchange has to block access to them. And that brings us to our last section. And honestly, this might be the most important part of this whole guide. We've talked about the rules and the checklists, but now we need to have a serious chat about the unavoidable truth of crypto, the core risks you're taking on no matter which exchange you choose. This right here is a distinction you absolutely have to burn into your brain. Think about your bank account. Your savings are protected by something called the Financial Services Compensation Scheme, the FSCS. If your bank goes bust, the government steps in and you get your money back up to a limit. Now, look at crypto assets. They have zero protection. None. If the exchange you're using gets hacked or goes bankrupt, your crypto could just vanish forever.
Look, this isn't us being dramatic. This is the reality of the market, and it's a direct warning you'll see from the regulators themselves. I'm just going to read it out because it's that important. You should be prepared to lose all your money. Let that sink in for a second.
So after all that, after covering the rules, the risks, the good guys, and the ones to watch out for, the question is, are you ready to choose? You now have the knowledge you need to move forward, but to do it cautiously and to make a truly informed decision. The choice and the responsibility is yours. Thank you for watching. If you got something from this, please like the video and support the channel by clicking on the subscribe button. That really helps us. Thanks again.